Hi folks, happy March. So the other day I got a text from my friend who's getting into bonsai, and he has this maple tree in his yard and he wants to move it, and he texted me and said, hey, I want to move this maple. Is now a good time to do that? I texted back, oh, and he wants to bonsai it. And so I texted back and said, yep, now is an ideal time to move that maple. And I realized some of my viewers might have the same question, is now a good time to work on trees? And the answer is yes. Spring is a great time to work on trees, especially tree roots. So that's the short answer. March, April, May, generally in northern hemisphere, temperate climates like mine, yep, great time to work on your tree's roots. So that's the general message of this video. You can move on now if you don't want any more specifics. But I wanted to get into some more specifics because yesterday I was looking at my trees, as I often do, enjoying the March weather. It's nice and warm. And just thinking about all the stuff I was going to be doing in the next few months. And I honestly was feeling a bit of anxiety. I thought maybe the anxiety was caused by other circumstances in my life. But I realized, no, part of it is because I have all this stuff I want to do, especially working on my tree roots. And I have an idea in my head, but I had all this information in my head. And I was finding it a little bit, I was thinking about videos too, and I was like, okay, well, I want to do this one. Wait, no, maybe I should do this one first. And there's just too much in my head. So I sat down, I've never done this before. I started just making a list of all the stuff I needed to do in the next few months. For this spring season in bonsai, which is often so busy. So here it is. I started making a list, and those are listed as rows. And then as I was making a list, I realized, the reason why it's not just the sheer number of things, it's because in my head, I was kind of organizing like, okay, I need to do this before this, but then maybe I'll do this before this. And I realized I need to make a timeline. So this is a timeline, and I decided for temporal resolution, all I needed was just late March, early March, for instance. I just needed to divide months into two things. And so I listed everything out, and then I ordered it according to when I need to do it. So here is that list. A more specific answer to, is spring a good time to work on tree roots? Answer being yes. There's a more optimal time, according to what I've read and heard online. And that has to do with buds. Now is the time when I start looking at buds. And I'm often out here at my trees just peering closely at my plants, looking at the buds, seeing if they're swelling. Because that is generally for most trees, and what you read online about bonsai is, once those buds in the spring start to swell and extend, that is a good time to repot your trees. So that's what I did here. And so I have further to make this list for me. I can't tell you, of course, when that's going to happen on your maples, for instance, because it's climate dependent. So I had this other document that I've been, and I'll show that too here. So I've been taking data on when bud break is or bud burst is for many of my trees for just the last few years. And each year I add, it gets more and more interesting. What's really interesting about it is the variability in the bud break. So I look at here the top row entry of my Acer Ganola Amber Maple. The bud burst in 2022 was the 5th of April. Then 2023, the 15th of April. And then 2024, the 1st of April. So that's actually pretty consistent for what I've seen. Now, some of these other ones are pretty variable. I'm looking at my quinces here. They can really open up really early, and I was looking at this and I realized I hadn't been looking at my hime, my quince hime, which is my earliest to bud out, and I realized like, wow, it broke bud on the 20th of February last year. So I went out and looked at it, and I said, oh my goodness, yeah, there's new little leaves. It happened. So I just put March 1st for bud break. But anyways, so I used that information to create this schedule for myself. Just to kind of have a plan of like, okay, when do I need to work on this tree versus this tree? Because I want to do it around when the buds are opening up, and that differs. So I'm glad I did this because I had planned to dig up my potentilla, which I've had planted ground for a few years now, and put in a bonsai pot. But and making this chart, I realized, hey, I think that kind of it gets leaves pretty early, leaves out early, and it's true. I looked at my chart here, and lo and behold, it actually is pretty early. It could bud out here. In 2022, I recorded that it budded out pre-March 10th. Then the next year, March 23rd, and then the next year, the 17th of March. So that thing is about ready to start putting leaves out here in the next few weeks. So I'm going to work on that one first. And just to give an idea, I'm going to make videos of a lot of these. And that's another reason I wanted to make this schedule, because I just wanted to schedule like, okay, when am I going to make this video, this video, this video? So I'll just go through these really quick, put them up on the screen. Not sure how readable they'll be on a little tiny like phone screen. But anyways, first pot up a potentilla that I have. I want to dig up apple, plum, quince that I have planted in my grow bed, because I think the roots are probably getting really established. I'm going to plant some things in the ground. I'm going to move my katsura, Japanese maple, which I've had planted in the ground for a couple of years. I'm just going to move it into a big pot. Larch, I'm going to slip pot my larch. I'm going to pot a small little cotoneaster I have in my garden bed. I'm going to repot some of these small size trees because they really send out roots, and I think they're full of roots. Take spring pictures. I started making videos, and I used to be really good at taking pictures of my bonsai. Well, this last year I did terrible because I was too busy making videos. And then later in the spring, I'm going to be working on more of my conifers. Pot up my Douglas fir, repot my western hemlock, repot my spruce, which I just lifted it out of the pot and it's just dense. I haven't repotted it in forever. Then I'm going to work on my thuja forest. Really excited to put that one in a pot, so that'll be a little later, more in April, May. Then repot hinokis, question mark, I don't know if I'll do that. Repot junipers, and finally work a little bit on chrysola. So that's just a quick preview of some stuff I'm going to do, and maybe an idea for you if you, like me, have a lot on your spring to-do list for bonsai. Make yourself a schedule maybe, and you can take away some of that that anxiety. Anyways, I'll end it there, and happy spring. Hope you enjoy the spring repotting season. I'm really looking forward to it, and it's upon us. It's gonna happen. So until next time, happy bonsaiing.